The key was metal, cold and sharp in your palm, not a fob, not a card, just a metal key with the manufacturer's logo stamped on the head. You'd hold it for a second before putting it in the ignition, feeling the weight of it, the reality of it. This was yours. If you grew up in the 80s, you know what that moment meant. Your first car wasn't just transportation. It was freedom. It was identity. It was the thing that separated you from who you were before and who you were about to become. And if you could get your hands on something even close to a Camaro or a Mustang, even if it was 10 years old and held together with prayers and duct tape, you were everything. Today you build your car online. You configure the color, the trim, the features. You click submit and wait for a delivery date. Back then, you walked a lot on a Saturday morning, under plastic flags snapping in the wind, with a salesman in a cheap suit already walking toward you. And whatever happened next was going to change your life. This video takes you back to when buying your first car meant working all summer, walking dealership lots, and driving home in something that made your heart pound. From the dream cars, Camaros, Mustangs, Trans Ams, to the reality of what a teenager could actually afford. From crank windows and cassette decks to cruising Friday nights with the volume all the way up. Drop a comment, hit that like button, and let's go back to when cars were more than just cars. Saturday morning, the dealership lot was already busy. Rows of cars lined up under strings of plastic triangular flags, red, yellow, blue snapping in the breeze. The windshields covered in handwritten numbers and exclamation points. Must see, great deal. Low miles. Everything felt electric, like something important was about to happen, because it was. The salesman would come out fast, cheap suit, maybe a tie that didn't match, firm handshake, big smile. Looking for something special today. He already had a cigarette going or had just stubbed one out. He'd walk with you, hands in his pockets, letting you look, waiting for you to stop at something. He knew his moment would come. You had no internet, no Kelly Blue Book on your phone, no reviews to read, no forums to check. If you wanted to know what a car was worth, you either knew someone who knew or you trusted the sticker on the window. The Monroney sticker. The one the government required, listing the MSRP, the options, the mileage rating. That piece of paper was your only protection. The negotiation happened in a small office, desk covered in papers, framed certificates on the wall. The salesman would write a number on a piece of paper, slide it across the desk, and wait. You'd counter. He'd leave the room, talk to his manager, come back and forth. It was theater, but the stakes were real. Every $100 mattered. And when you finally agreed, you'd shake hands, sign your name on what felt like 50 forms, and somewhere in the middle of all that paperwork, the car became yours, legally, officially, completely. The keys would land in your palm, and the world outside that little office felt entirely different than it had an hour ago. You wanted a Camaro IROCZ black, T-tops, the 5.7-liter V8. You'd seen them on the road, that low, wide stance, the fighter jet dashboard inside, the way they sounded at idle, deep and mechanical, like something barely contained. A new one cost almost $25,000 in 1985. That wasn't happening, but a man could dream. Or a Mustang 5, the other side of the great American muscle car debate. Mustang guys and Camaro guys genuinely couldn't agree. The Mustang was faster in a straight line. The IROC handled better. This argument happened in every parking lot, every Friday night, every auto shop class in America, and it never got resolved. It never will. The Pontiac Firebird Trans AM was another dream. Black if possible, T-tops obviously. The same F-body platform as the Camaro, but different enough to make you feel like you were driving something rarer, something special. A used one from the late 70s could cost around $1,500 if you found the right deal. Half a summer job, worth every penny. What most people actually drove: Honda Civics, Toyota Corollas, the boxy, reliable, completely unglamorous workhorses. A new Civic cost about $5,600. It wasn't exciting, it wasn't fast, but it started every time. It got 30 miles to the gallon, and it ran for 200,000 miles without complaining. You'd hate it, then you'd love it, then you'd miss it years later. Or you got the beater, the hand-me-down. Your parents' old station wagon or the giant Buick or the rusted Chevette that your uncle sold you for $1,200 and shook at anything over 55. It embarrassed you. You hated parking it near school, but it was yours, and that made it perfect. Sit in the driver's seat. Close the door, that solid, heavy sound of American steel. Now look around. Crank windows, both sides. You'd grab the handle and spin it forward to lower the glass. In summer traffic, this was the first thing you did, before you even started the car. Windows down, arms out. Manual door locks. Little knobs that you pushed down or pulled up. If you locked your keys inside, and everyone did this at least once, you either called a locksmith or you found a wire hanger, bent it into a hook and worked it through the corner of the window seal. It took 20 minutes. You felt like a genius when it worked. Ashtrays everywhere, built into the dashboard, built into the doors. A cigarette lighter that you'd push in and it would pop out red hot. Teenagers used them to heat up a penny for some terrible reason, or just to see the coil glow. Cars smelled like cigarettes whether you smoked or not because every car before you had been smoked in. No cup holders. Zero. This is the thing younger people genuinely cannot believe. You'd get a soda at the drive-thru and hold it between your thighs for the whole drive. Or you'd set it on the seat next to you and it would tip over the first time you turned left. You learned to drink fast, or to want less. No airbags, no ABS, no traction control, no backup camera, no lane assist. The car did exactly what you told it to do and nothing more. You could feel the road through the steering wheel, vibrations, bumps, texture. The car communicated with you physically. It wasn't isolating you from the experience. It was pulling you into it. The factory radio wasn't enough. AM, FM was fine, but you needed a cassette deck. That was non-negotiable. If the car didn't have one, your first upgrade was a cassette deck installed at the local audio shop. A Pioneer or a Kenwood head unit. $40, maybe $60 with installation. Worth every cent. You'd carry a shoebox of tapes in the back seat. Mixed tapes, albums, music you'd recorded off the radio, each tape carefully labeled with a marker. Van Halen, Journey, AC/DC, Bruce Springsteen, Michael Jackson if you weren't worried about your reputation. You'd flip the tape when it ended without looking by feel while driving. It was a skill. If your car was really old and only had an AM radio, you could buy a cassette adapter. A fake cassette with a wire that plugged into your Walkman or Discman. It sat in the tape slot and played through the speakers. The sound quality was terrible. You didn't care. It worked. That was enough. The speakers went in the rear deck. Big 6X9s that you'd buy at a car audio store and install yourself in an afternoon. You'd cut the holes, run the wires, mount the speakers, and then sit in the car with the doors closed and the volume all the way up. Testing, feeling the bass in your chest, adjusting the balance and fade until it was perfect. Music wasn't background noise in those cars, it was everything. The right song at the right moment could make a 20-minute drive feel like the best 20 minutes of your life. You weren't listening to a playlist generated by an algorithm. You made that tape yourself. Every song chosen, every transition intentional. That was your soundtrack, and nobody else had the same one. The first time you drove it alone, really alone, no parents, no instructor, you sat in the driveway for a moment. Both hands on the wheel, engine running, the dashboard glowing, the radio on. And you just sat there because you knew that when you backed out onto the street, something would change permanently. You'd pull out of the neighborhood, make a left, then another. No destination, just driving, feeling the car, learning its rhythms, where it pulled a little to the right, how much pressure the brakes needed, the lag in the steering. Every car had its personality, and learning it was like learning a person. Intimate, patient, surprising. Friday nights you'd cruise, Main Street, the Strip, the parking lot of the Sonic or the Dairy Queen where everyone gathered. Windows down, music up, elbow out the window, driving slowly, watching, being watched. It wasn't about going anywhere. It was about being out, being seen, being part of something that happened every week without being organized by anyone. People drove places just to drive, not because they needed to go somewhere, because the act of driving itself, the motion, the music, the sensation of being completely in control of a machine was the point. You'd fill the tank with $8 of gas and drive for 2 hours, just because you could, just because it felt like freedom. And here's the thing about that first car. People rarely wanted to sell it, even when it broke down constantly, even when a newer car was parked in the driveway. That first car held something you couldn't explain, the smell of the vinyl, the particular way the door sounded when you shut it, the exact feeling of that key in the ignition. People kept them in garages for years, decades, because selling it felt like losing something you could never get back. That was buying your first car in the 80s, walking the lot, negotiating face to face, crank windows and cassette decks and no cup holders and all of it. Cars weren't computers back then. They were machines you felt. And that first one, whatever it was, whatever it cost, it changed you. You never forgot it. Drop a comment and tell me, what was your first car? How much did you pay for it? Was it a dream car or a beater? And did you ever get rid of it, or is it still somewhere in your garage? Let me know.